Because you don't trust anyone. You just have to take the first step. I just shape changed.
Dragons can do that?
Look how close my butt is to my head. It's gonna make digestion so much faster.
How's it going out there, YouTube land and social media lands? Welcome to an all-new movie review. So in this review, we're going to be talking about a new movie that just came out in theaters back in March. Also had a Disney premiere on Disney Plus for a $30 fee too as well. Very similar to how Mulan got released. So we're going to get right into the CGI animated film shortly. But before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on this video and the other videos I put up. And as always, people, if you enjoy my content and like to see some other cool, social media platforms of mine, definitely check out my Facebook, my Twitter, and my Instagram. They're all fun, too, as well. Shows a lot of great funness. Oh, yeah. And as always, let's get right into this. Welcome one and all to an all-new movie review. So like I was saying before, we're going to be doing a review of a movie that just got released back in the beginning of March. On March 5th, actually, into theaters and for Disney Premiere Access, also on Disney+. And that happens to be the CGI animated film brought to you by Walt Disney Studios called Raya and the Last Dragon. Oh yeah, Raya and the Last Dragon. Ooh. So I just finally got to see this yesterday in theaters. This movie was so amazing, so well done, and it blew me out of the water. With the expectations for this film, I wasn't too sure about it, and it totally blew my mind with this film. It was just so well done. Now, this film is none other directed by a duo, actually, of two film directors. Now, the first one happens to be a gentleman that goes by the name of Don Hall. That's right, Don Hall. Oh yeah, Don Hall. Now, he's actually done other Disney projects. He's done a few other films over the years, and a couple of them I was really shocked to find out that he actually directed, and he was actually involved with. Like, he was involved with the Wreck-It Ralphs, he was involved with Frozen, he was involved in all kinds of stuff. He wasn't the director, but he was involved in some sort, either in writing or in some form of, like, the animation or so forth, and I thought that was kind of interesting. Now, a couple films he's actually directed besides this film are as such. Now, the first one happens to be a 2011 film that is a cartoon animated film brought to you by Walt Disney Studios. And that, of course, is a film called Winnie the Pooh. Oh, yeah, Winnie the Pooh. So this is the latest cartoon animated version film of the Winnie the Pooh himself, and he actually directed it, and I really enjoyed the film when it came out in 2011. I thought it was really well done. I thought the voice direction was really well done, and the storyline was really fun too. And I thought that Don did a really good job of just bringing us a great new representation of Winnie the Pooh, and also just kind of updating us and giving us a great new chapter in the Winnie the Pooh series. I really enjoyed it. If you haven't seen it, definitely give it a rule, people. It's worth the watch. The second film that Don Hall directed is a great film, also another Walt Disney Pictures film that was a huge success in 2014 when it came out, and ended up taking Best Picture for a Disney film or animated film in 2015, and it's just a really amazing, awesome film based on a Marvel comic book. And that, of course, is a film called Big Hero 6. Oh yeah, Big Hero 6. Oh my god, this movie's so freaking amazing. Absolutely love this film. Betamax was an amazing character. Every character in this film was so cool. Bringing to life superheroes and stuff like that was just really well done. And Don Hall did an amazing job of bringing this cartoon comic book to life. The animation was flawless. The cinematography, showing the landscape and everything in the film was so flawless, and just everything about it, the story, the voiceover work, the people they casted as the voice actors were on point for each of their characters, and just was a really rounded, cool superhero film. Not to mention a really great song by Fall Out Boy for this film, too. It just was a really well-rounded, awesome film that I thought Don did an amazing job directing and giving us just a really great animated film. If you haven't seen Big Hero 6, definitely check it out. But when it comes to co-directing Raya and the Last Dragon, I thought he did a really great job. He brought that same vibe I felt from Big Hero 6 and any of the other recent Walt Disney Studio Picture films that are, CGI animated type of films, like Wreck-It Ralphs, the Frozens, and so forth, they all had such a great taste. And it was such an amazing and awesome directing choice, too, because he really brought a great essence to the film, too. Because it just was such a different take on something that we really hadn't seen from Disney. And I thought that he did a great job of co-directing and giving us a really fantastic film. Now that brings me to the second director that was a co-director of this film. And that happens to be a gentleman that goes by the name of Carlos Lopez Estrada. Oh yeah, Carlos Lopez Estrada. Ooh. Now, he has done a lot of short films. He's done a couple of feature films. And actually, one of his first feature films, which came out in 2018, was actually a Sundance film that, got released with Sundance and became an instant classic. Now, a couple of his films are as such, but I've actually never seen any of his films, actually. But the first one is the Sundance film I was mentioning before that is called Blind Spotting. Oh yeah, Blind Spotting. Oh yeah. So Blind Spotting basically is kind of like it's a semi-autobiographical film about these two gentlemen that are like basically best friends living in Oakland, California. And it was considered a Sundance hit, and it was actually a big breakthrough for Carlos because it really brought the attention to his directing abilities. And from my understanding, it was a really amazing, fun film that had a lot of great character, a lot of great story arcs, and just a really great semi-autobiographical type of deal to it. So it's a film that I plan on watching eventually, but definitely something, that might interest you, might check out too eventually. It sounds like an interesting film, and I heard that Carlos did an amazing job directing it. So that brings me to the second film that Carlos Lopez Estrada has directed. Now, this is another one I have not seen, but I have watched the trailer, I have read a little bit about it, and basically this film is like a version of the film Crash, but in a comedy-drama style versus just a dramatic style. And that, of course, is a film called Summertime. Oh yeah, Summertime. Summertime. Oh yeah. Summertime. So Summertime, like I said, is a comedy drama film that basically is about several different characters and how all of them end up intersecting into each other's lives, which is very similar to how Crash the film was, and how like each of these people, they have their own stories, but they end up intersecting at some point during the film, and that's what the Summertime film is. Now, it does sound interesting. It does look interesting from the trailer. Definitely something that he's got a lot of credit for, and from what I saw in the trailer, it looks like he did a really decent job of bringing to life these characters and giving us a decently round and very accurate story. And definitely it's something that probably I'll end up watching eventually too, because I thought Carlos did such an amazing job directing Raya and the Last Dragon. Now, it comes to directing Raya and the Last Dragon, like I said, I thought he did a great job. But also at the same time, I thought he co-directed with Don Hall very well, and they made a very, very amazing, very smooth film that has a lot of great Asian heritage in it and just a great story in itself. Because even the writing of it, which both of them actually co-wrote with each other for this film, it just was a smooth sailing type of deal and a really interesting story. Basically about this, society that has split into these factions because they can't all agree on something because of how the world is. And it just was a really fun story. If you haven't seen Raya and the Last Dragon and want to see Carlos and Don's direction, definitely check it out, people. They did an amazing job directing this film. So this film has an amazing voice cast in it. From Daniel Day Kim to the funny and awesome, Mr. Wong from, the Doctor Strange films and from the other Marvel films that he's been in. We have such an awesome, amazing cast. And one of the great things about this film is that it is a complete Asian voice cast for actual Asian characters, which is a really big plus for the Asian community. Now, besides that point, the film itself is just a really rounded film with this voice cast that just really brought it to life. So to start us off is Raya herself, Miss Kelly Marie Tran. Oh yeah, Kelly Marie Tran, woohoo! Oh my god, Kelly Marie Tran, I absolutely love this girl. I think she's an amazing actress. From the first moment I saw her in one of the Star Wars films, I absolutely fell in love with her acting because I thought she was so genuine, so awesome, just a really amazing actress. Now, a couple of films I really enjoyed her in, and of course, one of them is going to be a Star Wars film. Now, the first one happens to be the Star Wars film that goes by the name of Star Wars The Last Jedi. Oh yeah, Star Wars The Last Jedi. Woo! Oh, absolutely love this film. Such an amazing Star Wars edition. So much better than The Force Awakens. And it's just a really amazing classic. And this is where we get introduced to Rose Tico, who is played by Kelly Marie Tran. And she brought Rose to life. She was so stinking hilarious. Absolutely loved her characterization of the character. I loved her interactions with Finn and Poe and everyone that was involved with the film. And just I thought she brought a great essence to the character. She brought a really great just characterization that was you fell in love with, and you wanted more of Rose throughout the film, and you wanted her to succeed and do this stuff. She just was a really great character, and Kelly did an amazing job of bringing that to life. If you haven't seen The Last Jedi, definitely give it a whirl, people. It's definitely worth the watch. The second film that Kelly Marie Tran was in that is an enjoyable performance too, as well as a voiceover role as well prior to this one. And that is in the DreamWorks film picture called Croods 2: The New Age. Oh yeah, Croods 2. Oh my god. Once again, Kelly, lent her voice and made such a great character in this film. She was absolutely hilarious in the film. She worked so well off of Emma Stone, Nicolas Cage, everyone that was involved with the film. And I just thought she really brought a great essence to the character, and it was just so cute and just a really fun character. You don't really fall in love as much as like you do with Rose, but at the same time you still feel that really good like good girl vibe to the character that is just really fun and just really feels like Kelly Marie Tran. And I thought that she did another great job of giving her voice and just giving us this really great performance. If you haven't seen Croods 2 yet, definitely give it a whirl, people. It's worth the watch. Now, when it comes to her playing Raya, I absolutely loved her. I felt instantly in love with Raya from the first moment I saw her on the screen, and Kelly just brought that character to life. That voice just embodied Raya and gave us such a great performance, from the emotions to just the feelings that she had throughout the film, and giving this computer animated character such real life. And I just thought that Kelly did an amazing job of giving us this great performance that was really well crafted and just really well written. If you haven't seen Raya and Last Dragon yet, for Kelly Marie Tran's voiceover, definitely check it out, people. She does an amazing job. So that brings me to the second person I'm going to talk about that lent their voice to this awesome film. And that, of course, is Sishu herself, Miss Aquafina! Oh yeah! Aquafina! Woo! Aquafina! Oh my god, Aquafina is absolutely hilarious. Everything I've seen her in, she's always on point hilarity. From her show Nora Queens to her performance in Crazy White Asians, pretty much anything she's been in, she is always super hilarious, and I absolutely love her. I think she's so fantastic. She's a great comedian, great actress, and just a really well-rounded, awesome person too as well. But she brought such great life to Shishu. She really brought the essence of herself to the character, and the animators did that exact same thing with bringing her to life in that animation. Because as you're watching it, you think that's Aquafina you're watching, because that's how amazing they are at animating these days. Now, Aquafina, we all know, like I said, from the few things I've just mentioned, Nora Jones, her TV show, from Crazy Rich Asians, she's been in a ton of stuff. But a couple of films I really enjoyed her in are as such. Now, the first one happens to be a great sequel film that I think is really underrated and just a really fun film. And that, of course, is a film called Neighbors 2: Sorority Rising. Oh yeah, Neighbors 2: Sorority Rising. Oh my god, Aquafina in this movie is absolutely hilarious as one of the sorority girls. She's super hilarious. She plays off of everyone so well and has some of the greatest one-liners in that film. And it just was a great role. I just absolutely loved her in it. I just thought she did a great job. And I thought that it definitely, people, if they want to see what else Aquafina's done, definitely to check out the role. If you haven't seen Neighbors 2, definitely check it out, people. It's worth the watch. The second film that Aquafina was in that I really enjoyed her in is also another sequel that is actually the third film in an awesome, amazing series of films that is based on a board game. And that, of course, is the film called Jumanji: The Next Level. Oh yeah, Jumanji: The Next Level. Oh my god, absolutely loved her character in the film. She was absolutely hilarious. She was on point. That voice of her is just so authentic and just like distinct to her. And she just brought it to life in this film because you absolutely, as soon as you saw her on screen and saw her character, you're like laughing your butt off because of how funny it is. And she really brought a great essence to that character in the film. I thought she worked really well with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, well with Kevin Hart and Jack Black, and just everyone that was involved in the film, and just how they meshed together was like super funny and fun. If you haven't seen Jumanji 2 yet, the next level of the Dwayne "The Rock" series, definitely check it out, people. Aquafina was amazing in it. But once again, going back to her voiceover in as Sishu in the film, she was amazing. I can't explain enough how amazing I thought she did as this character. Absolutely fell in love with Shishu. I think she's an amazing character that worked so well with Raya, and their bond and their friendship was so felt on screen, and that's how amazing Awkwafina was at voice acting for this role. She really brought to life Shishu, and you felt for Shishu, and you felt like that she is such a good person, and you want to know this actual dragon. You want this dragon to be real, and that's how amazing Aquafina did at voicing the character itself. Definitely worth a watch. If you haven't seen Raya and the Last Dragon yet, definitely check out for Aquafina's voice acting performance. It was on point perfection. So that brings me to the final actress I'm going to be talking about in this film of voice casting masters. And that, of course, is the main bad guy of the film, the Mari herself, that is voiced by the amazing and beautiful, gorgeous, talented Miss Gemma Chan. Oh yeah, Gemma Chan. Woo, Gemma Chan. Oh my god, Gemma Chan, I always forget how amazing of an actor she is. And every time she does something, everything that she's done that I've seen pops up in my head and goes, oh my gosh, why haven't I remember her? Because she is just really amazing. She always plays really great characters, and she always brings great realness to her characters. Now, Gemma Chan has been in several things over the years. She's done a few voice acting, she's done TV shows, she's done all kinds of stuff. But a couple things I've enjoyed her in are as such. Now, the first one I'm going to talk about is a great Marvel film that just came out in 2019, and was the debut film of a Marvel character we hadn't gotten to see yet. And that, of course, is a film called Captain Marvel. Oh yeah, Captain Marvel. Ooh, Captain Marvel. Oh my god, Captain Marvel was such a great film. And Gemma Chan plays Miniver in the film, and she is so awesome as a character. She plays a really great kind of bad guy, kind of on the side, good bad guy type of character that's working with Jude Law's character, Marvel, and it's just a really awesome performance. She really brought the character to life, gave us this really great innuendos that really, you could see the chemistry between her and Brie Larson, and how their friendship, kind of how it was, and kind of how they knew each other, they were associated with each other, but they really didn't like each other. And I thought Gemma did a great job of bringing that to life and giving us this really realistic performance that just worked really well for the character. It was a really great performance. If you haven't seen Captain Marvel, definitely check it out for Gemma's performance. She was really good in it. So that brings me to the second film that Gemma Chan was in that I really enjoyed her in. And that, of course, is a great fifth and final film by Michael Bay in this amazing series of Transformers: The Last Night. Oh yeah, Transformers: The Last Night. Ooh. This movie is really amazing, and Gemma Chan actually does the voice of Contessa, who is one of the main villains in the film. And she actually does a voiceover role pretty much, but we do get to see her in live action form at the very end of the film. But at the same time, she really brought a greatness to the character of Contessa, because she's kind of like this queen robot bee that is, basically trying to take over the world, bring back Cybertron, and all this kind of stuff. And she just has a great presence with her voice to this character. And you feel the queenness to her, and you feel just like the presence of how she's, she's a badass, and that she is, is Contessa. And she was amazing as the role. I loved her interactions, how she had to deal with Optimus Prime, their banter between her and Peter Cullen, and just how they brought a real greatness to bringing these characters to life. And you really feel it. like these cybernetic organisms are really real and really are there talking to each other. And just such a great performance by Gemma's voice in that film, and just I thought she really brought Contessa to life. Really amazing role, really enjoyable, and I thought she did a really fantastic job. If you haven't seen Transformers The Last Night, definitely give it a roll, people. Gemma Chan was awesome as Contessa in it. But when it comes to her portrayal of her character of Namari in Raya and the Last Dragon, she plays a great bad guy character. She does a really good job. She's not really bad, but at the same time she plays the antagonist who can't make up her mind because she doesn't realize what needs to really be done. And Gemma did a good job of portraying that in her voiceover work for the character. And just brought a really good essence to the character. And you really felt her and her presence as the character through her voice performance. And just throughout the film, you could see how, you know, Gemma really brought certain energies to different situations and just made it seem so real. It was a really well-rounded performance. If you haven't seen Raya and the Last Dragon yet, definitely give it a look, people. Gemma Chan's voiceover was amazing and was a great villain character. So what is Raya and the Last Dragon about? Basically, the premise of the story is there's these evil creatures that are in the world that are kept away by the dragons in their land, and it keeps them at peace, and they bring them water, and they keep them fertile and happy. Unfortunately, at one point, most of the dragons have to sacrifice themselves in order to make this gem to be able to keep the evil away. And with that, unfortunately, pretty much all the dragons become statues, except for one who ends up disappearing. Several years later, unfortunate event where the 5 tribes basically that used to be united as the one group break the orb and cause the evil creatures to come back. And basically the rest of the story is about Raya trying to find the last dragon to reunite the world and bring peace and get rid of the bad guys. It's a beautiful story, so well set. I mean, the cinematography that they used in the animation was so amazing. You really think you're in Asia the whole time you're watching the film. The artwork, the animation is so amazing because of how realistic it gets every single movie. Because the computer work that they do with the dots and stuff like that capturing the motion capture that they use for the actual actors is getting so real, you really think that they're there, that they are the animation, and that's just how amazing this film was. The story, the music, everything about this film was so well done and so enjoyable. I definitely think this film is better than Soul. I definitely think it has a way better story. I think it has way better animation, better voice cast, and just a really well-rounded and way better film. And I was sitting there in the theaters watching this, and I couldn't believe just how intense and amazing this film was. If you haven't seen this yet, definitely give it a look, people. It's such worth the watch. It's an amazing film. Definitely can't wait for this to come out in 4K so I can add it to my collection. It is greatness by Disney once again. They're killing it. They're giving us such amazing shows, amazing movies, and this is one of the top line ones. This is a great film. Giant 10 Golden Movie Boxes up on this one. If you haven't seen it, go check it out now in theaters or on Disney Plus for premiere access. It's amazing and worth the watch. So that's it for this movie review, guys. As always, thank you for watching, thank you for liking, and also thank you for subscribing. And if this is your first time here, or you have been here before, don't forget to check out anything old or newer you might not have seen mine yet. As always, people, check out my awesome links down below for either my Patreon or the awesome horror pack, where you can get 4 Blu-rays or 4 DVDs right to your house of great horror goodness every month for a great low price. So definitely check out that link. And also, if you're a huge fan of my channel and want to show support, check out my Patreon page where you can see updates on what's coming, bloopers, outtakes, all kinds of cool stuff like that. So definitely check that out too, people. And as always, catch you in the next one.